and welcome to week 2 of our class, Mass Media and Criticism. So, this week we're going to be looking at the gatekeepers. Now, the gatekeepers, kind of like the word actually sounds like, are the people who like to decide what information you and I can have access to. Gatekeepers have been around since the beginning of time because gatekeeping and information is all about ideas of power. If I maintain most information and knowledge, if I control the knowledge and how you receive that knowledge, then I have power over you. And knowledge was mostly given out through verbally, like we are doing right now. Of course, there wasn't video. But it was also originally given out in book form. Consider before the Enlightenment, consider before the West actually had access to a way to print books and ideas, right? Most of the information that we receive came through our local representatives in our towns and our cities, and mostly through the church. The church actually, the Roman Catholic Church, for most of the West, told us how we were to behave, how we were to act, what we were to do on a daily basis, what holidays we were allowed to have, how much money we could receive, what we had to do to get married, you name it. They actually controlled our lives. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially if you happen to agree with the rules and regulations set out to you by those who have more power than you. But just imagine what happens when you take away the power of the gatekeepers and you say, I want to give everybody the opportunity to know and to understand this knowledge for themselves. Well, that's what Martin Luther did in the 1500s when the printing press was invented. And what is the very first book that was really mass produced? Yep, you got it. I'm sure you guessed it, the Holy Bible. This is one I picked up at a bookstore, and this is my mom's. It was given to my mom and dad, of course, when they got married. And I have my dad. My dad's Jewish, so it's not the Roman Catholic Bible. Actually, I have multiple Bibles here. But what's interesting is the fact that for the first time, people were going to be able to read the Bible for themselves. Until the 1500s and until Martin Luther kind of knocked his 95 Theses on the church door, people did not have an opportunity to read for themselves. The other barrier, of course, was Latin. Most Bibles were written in Latin. Matter of fact, most books were written in Latin. And everyday people like you and me, we weren't taught Latin. So the other thing that Martin Luther did, which was really revolutionary, is he actually translated the Bible into the vernacular language. That basically means common language. And his common language was German. So can you imagine what changes happened as a result of making this knowledge, the knowledge of the Bible, and the knowledge of what was actually in the Bible, available to everybody? It was huge, absolutely huge. When we take the power away from the gatekeepers and we give knowledge to, well, everybody on a mass way, then we change how things are understood. We change priorities, we change lifestyles, everything actually changes. So today we're going to look at, and this week we're going to look at, how the book has actually changed the world and how it has changed information. On the first discussion thread, you're going to be talking about gatekeepers, knowledge, and the printed book. And I'm going to ask you to look at these ideas and to answer these following questions, and I'm reading them, so forgive me. Explain the positive and negative effects of democratization of knowledge. Further, I want you to discuss whether a gatekeeper is actually needed to control information available to the masses or not. Is there some pieces of information people should not know? For example, national secrets, right? Can information be controlled today? Is it even possible with the internet, right? And if so, in what way? I mean, consider, for example, China, right? China works very, very hard to control the kind of information that its population can receive, even through the internet. And big companies such as Yahoo and Google have worked very, very hard to go ahead and help them out in this. And how do we feel about that, living in a country that believes in democracy of knowledge. But of course, we also know that we are limited to the amount of knowledge we receive as well. Now, in the discussion 2 thread, I'm going to ask you to look at Google Books. Google Books is a digital project of scanning all books from all libraries that Google has started. And I'm also going to ask you to look at Gutenberg Books, which is a non-copyrighted scanning project of all books, and Amazon's Kindle. And I want you to examine the different websites and the different books and the information available. And I would like you to considering the following. What content is available on each site, and why, and how, what forms? For how much money? How much generalized interest would there be over time with the content they're providing, and why? If you are looking at an ebook format, which organization or website would you use and why? And after considering the questions, I'm asking you to place your observations in the discussion thread. Of course, we have a Discuss Your Knowledge this week and a seminar. I hope to see you at the seminar. Otherwise, have a great week and email me any questions you may have. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.